Standing here with Frank Guinta, who is running for U.S. Congress, having just basically, as readers of GraniteGrok know, you were mayor of Manchester for a couple of terms. One of the questions that came up tonight during this event here at the Taylor home here in Laconia from one of the seasoned citizens that was here was concerning your foreign policy. And certainly Iraq seems to be winding down. I'm hoping that it is winding down in a correct way, although they seem to be having troubles putting their government together. But Afghanistan is a different matter altogether, because there it's still more tribal rather than the central government. And we're starting to hear words to me that make no sense whatsoever, having lived through the Vietnam era and saw what happened in the aftermath when the Democrats cut the spending there, what happened to innocent civilians there. I'm hearing more of the same cut and run out of Afghanistan. I have a vested interest, since the youngest is basically where the fighting is hardest right now. What's your stand if you do make it into Congress? Would you be kind of neutral on this? Would you be fighting for more involvement in Afghanistan? Because, you know, why do we want to let that sacrifice go away of those who have given their lives? Or what would your stances be?
Well, I think we have to first remember and put it into perspective that our country was attacked on 9/11, and we want to stop the war on terror from coming to our soil. And sometimes that means we have to make the tough decisions in sending the bravest in our country to other parts of the country to ensure that terrorists will not infiltrate our country. With respect to Afghanistan, what I hope is that we can have the proper resources based on the needs on the ground, be effective and as swift and as quick as we can in ensuring that we eliminate the threats, and then bring our troops home. But we've got to give them every piece of equipment and the personnel necessary in order to ensure their safety as well as Americans' safety here at home.
Right now we're operating under a date certain from President Obama. Agree or disagree with that?
Disagree. That was a mistake to give a date certain to the enemy. And you're seeing now an uptick of engagement from the enemy as a result of us getting closer and closer to that date certain. The date certain should be, when we feel that the job is done. We should not be giving that information to our enemies. That's like giving over your playbook to the other side, and that was a mistake.
Okay. The other thing concerning Afghanistan that's been lately in the news was WikiLeaks. Basically the public distribution of about 70,000 documents concerning the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and with another 15,000 perhaps coming. It's already been said that the Taliban are already executing those that have been listed, that they are in a hunt and destroy mission, and that allegedly there's a 22-year-old soldier that is responsible for much of that document dump. Should he be facing treason charges if an Article 32, basically a court of inquiry, finds sufficient information?
Well, if they find sufficient evidence that he knowingly and purposely and willfully leaked this information, which is hurting our friends and hurting our chances and putting our soldiers in harm's way, then the answer is yes. I mean, he should face charges. We have to ensure that this doesn't happen in the future, because we don't want to put our soldiers in harm's way any further than they already are protecting our country. So we've got to take these kinds of things seriously and ensure that they don't happen in the future.
Okay, this story has only come about in the last week or so. Do you think that the President administration is doing all it can to find out all of the leakages, all of the questions that surround this story, and do you think that they're going to be willing to bring the hammer down?
Well, I hope so, but I don't know the answer to that yet, because they have not been very quick to provide information as to how they're conducting it. So I have my reservations, but I certainly hope as an American that they will do everything possible to swiftly resolve the issue.
Well, Frank Guinta, I want to say thank you very much for taking time once again with GraniteGrok, and we'll meet up again on the campaign trail.
My pleasure.
Thanks.